alive.
Well, live, quote unquote.
We are alive.
Well, hello and welcome back. I'm Buds,
I'm Suds.
and this is the Buds and Suds podcast, or Suds and Buds podcast. Ooh,
One of those.
one of those. That's stuff and things. So, tanks and dating sims.
Yeah, that's an interesting topic.
Yeah, tanks, dating sims, and punching Nazis.
Yeah, those are our scheduled topics. Very good.
Yeah, we're gonna go all the way. Episode 5. This is a home run episode.
I think we need to start off most controversial to least.
Most controversial to least. Okay.
Yes. So obviously dating sims are up there, but I think the punching Nazis question, even though we're a little late to this, I think that's it's an important conversation. I think
it is, because I think we have a different take on it, a different kind of way of looking at certain things like that.
which is unusual.
Yeah, because usually people think that, punching Nazis, it's kind of a black and white thing. Either yes, because they're Nazis, or no, because they're people too.
Right. Fair enough. It's a good assessment.
But, what if their ideology is just straight up hateful? Do you need to try to, I don't know, intervene in some way? Maybe not in violence. I'm not saying to physically punch a Nazi, but
Spoiler alert.
yeah. I mean, sure. If they're like being a dick and coming threatening you and shit, coming at you or so what and whatnots, then sure. If you have to protect yourself, punch a Nazi.
Okay, you're saying more specifically threatening you, not being a dick, just being a dick.
Exactly.
Threatening you. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like don't walk into like a KKK rally or a neo-Nazi rally or some shit and just start punching people. Then you look like the asshole. I'm saying mentally punch them. Like
Mentally punch them?
Yeah, philosophically punch them.
And I have to agree.
Yeah.
But before we go any further, I want to catch anyone up who's not aware. This debate has been going on for a little bit, a couple of weeks now, in kind of the online, a lot of communities, because Richard Spencer. Oh God, this was a long time ago. Richard Spencer got punched while talking about his Pepe pen, which I don't think Pepe is a racist thing, but
no,
Richard Spencer.
It was never intended to be either.
No, Richard Spencer is a white nationalist, I would say.
Yeah. Not necessarily a supremacist, but definitely a white nationalist.
Yes, I was trying to parse out those words a little earlier and think about. I can't say for sure he's a white supremacist. Some of the things he said, I think he actually is white supremacist.
He has some supremacist kind of ideals, but
yes,
he doesn't want an ethnic cleanse to happen.
I think his words were he wants a peaceful ethnic cleanse, whatever that means.
Yeah, that sounds really bad.
Yeah, even if you say, I mean, but here's the debate, and I thought we were gonna have different issues on this, but it sounds like we have the same viewpoint on this, which is okay.
Being friends for 20 years, man, kind of happens.
But I don't think it's okay to enact violence on people based on words. You should respond to words with words. If they're violent, sure, respond with violence if that will, if you had to protect yourself. But respond to words with words.
Yeah.
Is that about what? Do you disagree? What's your thoughts?
No. I don't disagree at all. It's kind of like I like to put it this way. It's almost like the Christopher Hitchens argument for it. The fighting words with words. If someone spouts hate speech, spout love speech. I just do exactly the opposite of what they're doing, and show just how ridiculous they look.
Exactly. I mean, any bad argument can be refuted.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to punch someone to show that. If anything, that kind of shows you're resorting to some other way to enforce your ideas rather than the merits of those ideas.
Yeah, because normally people with bad ideas resort to violence second. Like, that's like, if my words don't work, I'm gonna punch this person. You know, which most of the time their words don't work. So they end up punching the person
Exactly.
because they have bad ideas that they can't back up. But yeah, if you just go up and punch a Nazi, you're basically saying, I don't have any ideas that are better than yours. I just disagree with you, which is stupid. That's what's happening in the White House and fucking Congress right now with
Right.
Dems and Republicans and shit.
And I think part of the issue is the use of the word Nazi. It's kind of used now to people whom I disagree with rather than members of the National Socialist Party of Germany who don't exist anymore.
Yeah, and there is like a neo-Nazi movement, but they only use Nazi in that sense. We describe ourselves as neo-Nazi because we are modernizing those beliefs.
And it's Richard Spencer, while pretty clearly, I would say, a racist, is not a neo-Nazi technically, nor an actual Nazi. So I think it's just important to, use words appropriately.
Yeah, all neo-Nazis are racist, but not all racists are neo-Nazis. It's it's like the mutually exclusivity thing. It's one doesn't have to be the other.
And saying someone is not a Nazi does not mean I support them. I'm just saying they're not a Nazi.
Yeah, it makes them a little less bad, but it doesn't make them not bad.
Like on the spectrum, there's like, okay, racism. Yes, racism is bad. I mean, it's born of ignorance too, but racism is a bad thing. Being racist makes you not a good person.
Racism is in and of itself is a human construct.
Right. I mean, obviously, yeah.
It's borders. It's the superiority complex that humans, in general, everybody on this planet will experience a superiority or a moment of grandeur in your own head. Guarantee it.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, people say, racism is taught. It's not something kids know, but I mean, xenophobia is kind of just ingrained within us all, unfortunately. That has to be unlearned. That's my opinion on it. I mean, it's not that racism is learned, it's that people are inherently afraid of the other, and you have to teach them that, okay, even though people may look different, may do different things, they're inherently people with values and, they have value.
Yeah. It's, oh shit. I just lost what I was going to say.
Sorry, I was rambling.
Yeah. But I let you ramble. Here we go. Every country has a nationalist party.
Sure. I mean, it's a nation.
Yeah. No, you know what I mean. Every country has a party that just goes, we're the best, you all suck. That's what I mean. Like, everybody has that party. Every country has that sort of nationalist, we're racist towards everybody but us kind of party.
And they're all wrong except for the U.S.
America! Oh, God. I need to watch that movie again. Another movie for y'all to fucking add to your list if you haven't seen it. Team America World Police. Puppet sex. There's puppet sex. And it is incredible puppet sex. It won't turn you on. It'll make you cheer them on. The puppeteers, I mean.
Masterful work. Masterful. Yeah. They were robbed of the Oscar.
Best animation, 2015. That movie came out long before 2015. Yeah. When did that come out?
I would say 2008, just guessing off the top of my head.
Yeah, probably something like that. I'm not going to check this time. Last couple episodes, I was on the internet. This time, fuck it.
Fuck it.
Fuck it. We're going to talk about things we know. Okay, so the
you don't know anything, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean,
2004. I looked it up. I lied.
All I know is that I don't know. All I know is that I don't know nothing. I love that song.
Socrates quote.
Sure. Yeah.
Basically,
All I know is that I don't know. Socrates.
Socrates. Socrates.
Socrates. Hey, there he is. Sorry, any Bill and Ted fans out there?
But I don't know, to speak a little more about this punching Nazis debate.
Yeah.
I mean, I think freedom of speech, I mean, it's literally the First Amendment of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
I think you need freedom of speech to have what's the word I'm looking for?
A healthy society. A healthy modern society.
Yeah. Any of those. You need freedom of speech. And unless it's actively harming someone, like in the U.S., threats are illegal. Mm-hmm. Saying fire in a crowded theater is illegal because people could get harmed by that.
Yeah, good. And that's a bad thing.
Inciting violence is illegal.
Yeah. Which our president does. Did you not see his entire campaign trail?
Whoa! What about Nazis?
Yeah. He doesn't want to punch Nazis. That guy.
His entire campaign trail.
No, I'm not calling Trump a Nazi. He's not a Nazi. He's just an ignorant bigot. It's all right.
Probably not. Probably right.
Yeah.
Probably not.
No, and I'm not saying anything about his character. You know, I've heard from people that I know who are in my ring. Some people have actually met him. Have had the chance to meet him before he was president, and whatnot, and said he's a pleasant man to be around. Like he's not a jackass. He just seems stupid. So I'm like, whatever. He's just not fit to be president. That's all I have to say.
I think most people are pleasant. And I think most people are ignorant.
That's true. Because ignorance is bliss, and I think if you're in that kind of state of bliss, you're always just going to be pleasant to be around until you start spouting off your crazy bullshit ideas. And then people are like, oh, you're stupid. Okay.
You're just dumb.
Oh, you're just dumb. I'm sorry.
No, but I think like look at, say, the Westboro Baptist Church.
Oh my God, yes.
I mean, they
good example.
They say God hates fags. Thank God for IEDs. Thank God for dead soldiers. Yeah, blah 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 blah. They brainwashed their kids to do this. You know, people punch them during their demonstrations because obviously they like demonstrate they have demonstrations during funerals of soldiers. Like they're a controversial group.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah.
But
punching was expected.
Yeah, sure.
It was expected. It wasn't wanton. Don't get me wrong. I don't believe that it was right, just like you're saying.
And I don't think it's right to punch someone for what they say, as vile as you think it is.
Yeah.
And I don't know who I heard this from originally. I don't know where I've read this, but I wish I could take credit for this. and it's if you don't support the freedom of speech for those whom you most disagree with, then you don't support freedom of speech at all.
That is such a good quote.
I mean, it's really true. If you only support the speech for the people you agree with, you don't support freedom of speech. Anyone can support the stuff they agree with. You have to have actual principles to fight for the people you hate.
Yeah, and that's why I believe in the First Amendment in its full entirety. You know, I don't care what you have to say. Please say it. If I disagree with it, let's talk about it.
Right. I mean, that's the thing. Bad ideas can be defeated, I think. You know, maybe I'm not an optimistic person, but this is maybe an optimistic idea. I think bad ideas can be defeated by good ideas in the, what's the word I'm looking for? The marketplace of ideas.
Yeah. You know, okay, I don't know, like, your feelings on TED or anybody watching this, but I do like their quote of, well, like their tagline, ideas are worth spreading. Sure. Now, I agree with that. Now, I want to add a second line to it, but stupid ones should be put down quickly. Ideas are worth spreading. Please, if you have an idea, say it. But if it's dumb, don't be surprised if someone around you puts you down. Just saying.
I think we see a lot of this now. People who have dumb ideas or bad ideas,
Or
especially
both.
especially in the realm of Twitter, they will decry, "Oh, people are just like harassing me and being rude to me and just shooting me down." And it's like, no, people hear what you have to say. Just what you have to say is wrong. It's just bad. Just stand up to criticism. Don't piss and moan about that. Maybe rethink your ideas.
Yeah. Honestly, that seems to be the problem with most social media today. It's just people get to piss and moan instead of actually reflecting on themselves, because social media is all about the self. It's all about expressing yourself.
Well, and the other thing is these hug boxes.
Yeah, the safe places and all that shit.
For you guys that don't know the definition of hug box, it's basically an echo chamber, but like the echo is enforced from the top down. So it's like a forum or a subreddit or like a group of people who all share the same, view, which is fine. But then like the moderators or administrators or whatever will ban people who go opposed to that. And you see that with like the Donald. You see that with Tumblr. You see that with Facebook groups. And it's really creates these very insular communities.
Yeah, think of the group known as feminazis. They live within their own echo chamber on YouTube.
It's true, to an extent, yes.
Yeah, like they do post stuff to YouTube, but since they are all friends and all back each other up, all of the outside forces are evil.
Right. I don't think that's a wrong assessment. I mean, before the days of the internet, like look at these communities like people who literally fap to My Little Pony. Like it's a community. Yeah, it's a community that would have never found each other IRL. But now, like with the internet, there is a lot of them collectively. You know?
Now, sexual deviance, whatever the fuck you're into, go ahead, find your friends. Please, that's what the internet is for. That's not what we're saying. We're not calling it. It's a little weird. Don't get me wrong.
I didn't mean to say that. Whatever your sexual interests are. I'm not just standing there.
I'm not trying to paint you as a bigot. I'm saying that on behalf of all the people who also are our friends and whatnot, and who also listen to this, like whatever your sexual fantasy is, please fulfill it. Just not with kids or dead things like that. That's a little weird.
Yeah, like we have friends who are like furries and whatnot, and like I don't get it, but like do what you do. Like if it makes you happy, I really don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
But there are groups like anti-vaxxers who are strengthened by the fact they can now find many, many, many more anti-vaxxers through the internet.
Yeah,
that's just kind of my point.
Yeah, and they keep getting fueled by these clickbaity title fucking fake ass studies and shit, or things that don't have any real scientific backing, and then
and they just repeat it and repeat it and repeat it, and it becomes like a meme. Not a meme in the internet sense, but a meme in the original sense. It's an idea that keeps perpetuating.
Yeah, exactly.
Fun fact: do you know who invented the word meme?
No.
Richard Dawkins, Dickie D.
Oh shit, that's right. Fuck.
That's why meme rhymes with the word gene in a slant rhyme.
Oh my god, that makes so much sense.
It's like an idea that acts as a gene. It like perpetuates itself.
And subsequently will end up splitting off into sub gene species and will be what do you call it? We'll see. What the fuck?
Okay, think about that.
Yeah.
As a side note, The God Delusion is a fantastic book, but if you are, a religious person, I would still encourage you to read it. But if you even if you don't want to read it, even if you're not interested, his books
Deviations.
about science.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Deviations in genetic quality. Memes also experience the same thing when they split off into subgroups. There we go.
Right.
Deviation.
We see this.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I would say, even if you are religious and you're still interested in science or biology, especially genetics, he has some really, really, really great books.
Yeah.
That are pretty much free of his sort of, atheist rhetoric. And they're really
his atheist rhetoric can get a little bit intense, I will admit.
Yeah.
Even as an atheist myself, like, I don't even like using the term atheist. I'm a non-theist. I just don't have time for religion.
Yeah, it kind of when I just say I'm not particularly religious if people ask me, because the word atheist kind of makes people's balls shrivel up into their body cavity.
Yeah, which is unfortunate, because atheist, I mean, it's just atheist. Think about what you don't believe in. If you're a Christian, you don't believe in fairies. Well, technically you should, because they're in the Old Testament, but you don't believe in fairies, so you're an atheist.
Right.
That's all that is.
Nations that said there's, thousands and thousands of gods. You're an atheist to all of them except for one.
Yeah. It's just like,
maybe that's Penn Jillette. I don't know.
Penn Jillette said something like that, and I think someone else went on to say, why don't we take that one step further? I think that was it was Sam Harris or Neil deGrasse Tyson.
We're just guessing.
Fucking, it was one of those dudes, because it sounds like a really smart quote, and all those dudes are really smart.
They all repeated it at some point.
Yeah, they've all said something like that.
I think so.
Yeah. You're all atheists to the pantheon of Greek and Roman gods. Why not take it one step further?
Exactly. And it's like, anyone who really evaluates their beliefs will realize they only believe them because they were likely brought up in that environment. Mm-hmm. It's hard because, there's a lot of beliefs all of us hold because it's part of our culture.
Yeah, especially Western culture. Like, the church was a huge part of the cult for almost 1,000 years or some shit. Oh, church, ruled the world, the Western world. No, I'm talking in totality. There are Western atheist nations.
Now, yeah.
Certainly. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
More than the U.S. for sure.
Mm-hmm. I think we're one of the few that still call ourselves a Christian nation.
Well, not
which we really aren't, to be totally honest.
It's 70%, which is a lot, but we do have separation of church and state, which even places like the UK, which are much more atheist than we are technically theocracies because the monarch derives their authority from God.
Yeah. They really need to drop the monarchy. I love the Queen, but let's just let it go.
Which is cute, it's cool, but seriously, how crazy is the idea of monarchy to our modern brains? Because you were the kid of the last guy that ruled means you should rule.
Just on merit, I guess.
Not even on merit, just based on blood, on genetics. I can't talk because the U.S. has a lot of that. Look at the Bushes, look at the Clintons, look at the Adams.
Well, hey.
Look at
the Kennedys needed to
Roosevelt's.
The Kennedys needed to get elected. Bush 2.0 needed to get elected. Al Gore could have very easily won that election. It's not necessarily guaranteed in this country. That's the thing.
That's true. And I think the one good argument for monarchy is that, there's two good arguments. One is that one person can respond to a threat much quicker than a Congress can. Mm-hmm. And two is that the son of a monarch, the heir, or daughter, depending on where you are, they are literally training their entire lives to run the country. So they would likely be very capable. Mm-hmm. So those are two good points. But see, if the monarch goes, let's say, insane, gets Alzheimer's, gets dementia, gets schizophrenia, there's no real way to get them out of power.
Yeah, they have to die. It's like the Pope.
Yeah.
I mean, Ratzinger kind of changed that a little bit. I think he was like the first pope to really resign.
He was the first in like several hundred years.
Yeah.
Not the first ever, but the first in hundreds of years. I mean, let's be real. The Pope is really
The
a political
Pope.
office. The Pope is a political office.
Mm-hmm. He's the head of a government because the
Yeah,
Vatican has their own seat in NATO. They have their own seat in fucking UN. Like
crazy.
the Pope is a president. He's an elected president, just not by the people.
Like the power of the Pope in like the Middle Ages was insane. Just someone who had all the say over these total absolute monarchs.
Yeah. The power of the Pope, some historians speculate, was actually technically, on paper, a stronger hold than the Roman emperors of 1,000 years beforehand. Like at the height, like we're talking Julius Caesar and like Nero's power, like that level of Roman power. The Pope, after the AD switch, had more power than that on paper because of his control over all of those kings and queens.
I'm not an expert, but I would say that's kind of close, actually. Like,
yeah, it was like it's either equal, if not exceeded, the power of a Roman emperor. Just because the church extended all the way out into the Russian tundra before the rift in the was it the 1200s or some shit?
That's true. Between all the Crusades, all the Teutonic Wars, like
it was all one church.
It spread very far.
Yeah, and it was all run by that one dude back in Italy, on the coast.
Orthodox.
Yeah. Oh my god. But I mean, just watch Kingdom of Heaven.
Russians were Orthodox mainly, to be fair.
Yeah, they were definitely a lot more Orthodox.
They had a whole different patriarchy. Literally run by a patriarch. That was what they were called.
Yeah, it was a patriarch, and it's like it's a triumvirate or some shit. Like it's a patriarch, and then he has like two people under him to signify like the Trinity, and then there's like the cardinals also help him make decisions, and they don't make any political decisions, only like spiritual and church related things. I think they completely split from the state, which the Catholic Church didn't. So. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, actually, I think it's the opposite. I think they were totally with a state, and the Catholic Church was separate from the other nations. Because I think you could be. I might be talking on my ass, but I played a lot of Crusader Kings too.
No. You are right. You are right.
I think the patriarchs of the Eastern Orthodox could also be monarchs.
Suds,
I don't know.
Because that's how the czars came around.
If I'm being dumb,
that's how the czar line was started.
If I'm being dumb, someone please correct me, but that's my understanding.
The original czar line, think about those. They were the head of the Eastern Orthodox Russian Church.
Well, the same is true with the, here's the thing, it's about theocracy. The UK, the monarch of the UK is technically the head of the Anglican Church.
Yeah, that's true.
How crazy is that?
Yeah, not only a country, but of a church as well.
Like, nothing has ever told me Queen Liz II is particularly religious.
Queen Liz II.
Queen Liz II, yeah.
It's like you're on first name basis with her.
I mean, come on.
All due respect, honestly, like she's a wonderful woman.
She's pretty classy. As far as monarchs go, she hasn't raped anyone.
Look, I have no problem with like the modern royal family. I have a problem with the position that they hold in the modern political world.
And
that's what I'm getting at. If they were just a figurehead for the state,
that would really, though.
Yeah, but she still can make decisions. The monarch can still make like wartime decisions and that kind of shit.
Considerable influence.
That's what I'm saying. Take away the considerable
UK politics, but
take away the considerable influence and have them as like the head of the Anglican Church and as a figurehead, as a representation of the British people. That I'm okay with. Just one person being able to make an absolute decision, that's a little weird.
Well, yeah, that's not the case. That's not the case in Saudi Arabia monarchies, but
Oh,
she's
really?
literally just a figurehead. Oh yeah, there's still absolute monarchies in the world. There's only like 3 of them.
Oh
But
shit, that's right. That's right. The princes of Saudi Arabia will have absolute monarch, yeah, power. Jesus. That shit's scary because that's brought on by their religion, obviously. Like,
yeah. I mean, that's what it's called, Saudi Arabia, because Arabia got conquered by the Saudis.
mhm.
The Saudis.
Yeah, the Saudi kingdom.
Yeah, it's a little wild.
Just a little bit, and I mean, at least they're coming up. They kind of came late to the game. They won't be able to conquer too much, to be totally honest. They,
No, but they still hold considerable wealth.
oh yeah,
While
they still hold
oil
considerable
is still a
wealth,
good commodity.
but that's quickly being fizzled out. I'd say over the next 50 or so years, will the entire world will start to tip. Like I'm saying, like in the next 50 years, it'll be like a 51-49 split towards green energy.
I mean, the
So
writing's on the wall.
what?
The writing is on the wall.
Yeah, exactly. Their time is coming
It,
to an end. Like,
that's kind of the depressing thing, is that we have literal presidents of the mightiest, richest nation in the world denying climate change, but then you have companies like Exxon who are, basically had their whole business model based off fossil fuels, who are now investing in alternative energy. So what does that
yeah,
tell you?
yeah. Exxon, BP, like they're all starting to change towards like ethanol fuels and also like fucking clean energy and using water. I think there was a hydrogen engine that was just uh tested recently at one of their plants or some shit.
Here's the
Like,
thing, corporations are not dumb. They know how to make money, they know how to invest.
yeah, and the money is in clean energy as well as because
They know it.
it keeps commerce going because people still live. People will be alive to buy shit.
It creates jobs.
Yeah, there you. That's another fucking thing. Look at how when Denmark just all of a sudden just said we're gonna go clean and just put up all of those fucking wind farms. Look at how fucking prosperous they are
Oh
now.
yeah. There's a big controversy over coal jobs, and it turned out that only like 60,000 people have
That's
jobs
like
related to the
yeah, it's
coal
like
industry.
60 or
It's
70,000.
It's
Yeah,
less than like 0.2%, I think.
yeah. There's more gold miners in Siberia and in South America right now than there are coal miners in America.
It's
Like,
insane.
give it the
It's really
fuck up.
bad.
Like, I get it that these places, like, it's like their only source of income. I, it's hard to say it, but fucking find something else, man. Like, coal is killing us. Coal
It
is killing
sucks
you.
because some towns are entirely built on top of coal mines. So these entire
West
towns will
Virginia.
become ghost. They'll become ghost towns. Yeah. I
Almost
mean,
the
it
entirety of
sucks.
West Virginia was founded because of the coal industry.
It kind of sucks to like destroy these communities, but like there's no clean coal. It's the dirtiest source of energy we have.
Yeah.
It's terrible. It's like burning wood. Wood's terribly polluting. Coal's terribly polluting. There's no redeeming qualities other than it's cheap, and we can't do that anymore. The temperatures are rising. We're at, the most conservative estimates say if we stop everything now, which is not going to happen, the global temperature will rise 2 degrees Celsius, which is still really, really bad. I don't fight with my parents about anything, but I always argue with my dad about global warming because he totally denies it exists, and I'm dumbfounded by that.
How can you? I'm experiencing like Arizona monsoons, and it's getting weird out here, man.
It's getting weird, man.
Yeah, like the desert, it's changing. We're watching the Earth change before our fucking eyes.
And that's the real issue. The climate deniers will say, well, the temperature has always changed. It's always shifted. We've had ice ages, we've had hot eras. And yes, that's true, but the issue is the rate at which it's changing. It's changing at what is an unprecedented rate. like extinctions are happening at an unprecedented rate. I think there's been, I'm not positive, but 4 or 5 mass extinctions in the entire history of the Earth.
Yeah, Precambrian.
Yes,
There was
the dinosaurs were just one.
Dinosaurs.
The Great Oxygen Crisis.
Yeah.
That was like after the I think there was a Precambrian one, but like 5 or 4 major extinctions. We're talking about more than half of species.
Yeah.
Were wiped out, and they're saying like the rate at which humans are changing the Earth
is worse than those.
I don't know if it's necessarily worse.
No, but it's comparable.
It's really, it's comparable. It's something that within, the next couple thousand years, which is, when you're looking at geography, is a very small amount of time.
Yeah. Next 1,000
years. Really a great extinction. It's going to kill off so many species, and that's really
going to destroy.
Depressing.
Yeah, it's going to destroy a lot of shit. Oh. Speaking of destroying things, tanks.
Tanks, am I right?
Tanks destroy things.
So we were talking about MMOs, which we both love.
Yes.
I unfortunately do not have time for MMOs. I do love WoW. I love Star Wars, The Old Republic. And I like EVE Online. And I know you have some more.
Oh, yeah. Things like Terra, Archage, Black Desert has been pretty fun. That one's a new one. We're not sponsored by any of these games, by the way. We're just kind of saying, hey, we enjoy these. Yeah. So, ESO, obviously, that's a big one. Elder Scrolls Online. Playing that. Oh, well, I kind of stopped a little bit because I don't have anybody to play with, and that's very much like a party game.
A lot of MMOs are. It's better when you have a group.
Yeah. Like Black Desert, you could definitely play alone. Like the story is definitely thick enough that you'll get engrossed in it. Like pretty fucking easily.
That's why I like Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars one. Oh,
it's very narrative. It's a bio.
Yeah, it's very narrative heavy.
It's not BioShock. What's the company's name?
BioWare.
BioWare. It's a BioWare game, so it's very like narrative heavy. Like I'd like it a lot because of that. You don't have to play it with friends necessarily, but
it's like Skyrim, but like Star Wars skinned and MMO. Like
pretty sweet.
Yeah. If it didn't keep crashing on me, I would be playing it currently. I'm serious. Like every time I try to install it, it's like I'd be playing it for like 15 minutes, and then all of a sudden it would just close. Like
I believe.
Yeah, like it would just close. Like once I upgrade my system, I will get all the MMOs. I will play all of them because when I get a new system, I'll have the money to like even pay for some subscriptions. So I'll like buy the ESO subscription and I'll
there we go
upgrade to WoW and all that shit and yeah.
All that shit. But yeah, we were talking about JRPGs.
Yes, because of Terra and Black Desert Online.
And I was saying I was not familiar with those.
Yes. Except
for a few, except for the genre of dating sims.
Yeah, dating sims.
The first one is, I think it's Howtiful Pigeon, which is basically a dating sim in which you are a student in a school and all the other people are pigeons. From the professors to the students, they're all pigeon. They're all birds, not pigeons necessarily.
Oh my god, yes.
And on my first playthrough, I got murdered by another teacher. So I wasn't crazy about that game, but now I'm playing a really good game.
Ew.
I think it's called Panzer Madels 4 or Panzer Madels, I think. It's basically a dating sim in which all of your classmates are female. They have like
battle
anime
tanks.
Yeah, they're the tanks. They're World War II tanks, but like they're represented by like female, like teenage
anime chicks.
Like anime chicks,
right? Basically. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how they're represented. But they all identify as like the general concept of a particular design of tank that was used in World War II.
I'm a 1941 Panzer. That is.
Like there's
Jesus.
like
I don't know any tanks. I'm
there's
not
Sherman. There's like
Sherman.
I forget what the Japanese tank is called, but it's IS-8 or IS-6 or something.
That fucking alarm, man.
Can you hear that?
Yep.
Someone's car alarm is going off. Fuck that guy.